What is going on? What is happening? Well, it's your boy 6MK. To see if you can hear me. Hear me. This is the first rendition of 6MK versus Kev podcast. Looks like I'm gonna be doing this solo dolo for those that are wondering. I know I've been out for a little while, I had to go through some things, but hey man, your boy is back. Your boy is back. So let me go ahead and make sure. Can you hear me? Make sure people that can hear me. Make sure you can hear me well. See, give a shout out to King Treyway. You got a 137 sauce, and it's Xavier Littman. Well, well. If you got an opportunity to watch the ATL Sports Endgame last night, this will be a continuation of that. So we're only gonna do this for about 30 some odd minutes. So this is not gonna be too long. The main question, the main topic of this one is Michael Penix will dictate the Atlanta Falcons' future beyond 2025. Now, what do I mean by that, and how does this correlate with Drake London and Kyle Pitts? Because we already know the main major talking points that everybody's been talking about this off season is Drake London. Can he eclipse what he's done? Is Kyle Pitts really a bust, or we need him to do something else? We need to see him do more. And I'm gonna tell you from my personal opinion, who in the hell cares? Because guess what? Their numbers are going to solely be dictated by said Michael Penix Jr. So I want to ask everybody the question. Why does it even matter who gets the ball in what situation? I thought that the whole objective of the Atlanta Falcons was to win football games, no matter who is the star or not. Let me read y'all a few numbers here. Atlanta Falcons 2024 offensive rankings. A. Points per game, 13th. Yards per game, 6th. Passing yards, 5. Passing attempts, 14th. Rushing yards, 10th. Rushing attempts, 8th. Turnovers, 24th. What does that tell you? The offensive side of the ball is good. Yeah, Southside, shut the hell up. See, we already shocking the system over here. But like I said, man, for those that are new to this is the solo side of things. This is why it's called 6MK versus Kev. As you know, that's what the K means. Now, why is the Atlanta Falcons news dominated by Kyle Pitts? Why is it dominated by Kirk Cousins? Why? Because these are the only two subjects that most folks can talk about because they want to be upset about something. Now, as we've seen with Michael Penix coming into this 2025 season as the perennial starter, I'm not looking for them to do a major change up in how they want to attack things. But what I want to see is I want to see the continuation on what 2024 was. But the real reason why I'm doing this, the real reason why, is because there is a dilemma going on here in which you have Drake London, who's going in year 4, which he will have a 5th-year option next year. And you have Kyle Pitts, who's on his 5th-year option this year. Now, one of the things that Michael Penix said in this offseason that I say was very, very telling to me is they asked him the question, do you feel like Drake London is underrated? And he said the world's about to find out about Drake London this year. 158 targets and 100 receptions is some pretty damn good numbers for Drake London. But here's the question. You got 106 for Darnell Mooney. You had 74 for Kyle Pitts. You had 53 for Bijan Robinson. And you had 78 for Ray McLeod. I don't think you need to see any more than what they have now. But because we are sitting here trying to play favorites on who we want to see be the number 1 receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, we've gone away from what is important to the Atlanta Falcons offense, in which is scoring points and not turning the ball over. 24th in turnovers offensively in 2024 is the biggest red flag that we saw last year. This is the expectation for Michael Penix. Don't turn the ball over. Now, some of his interceptions were bobble passes. Like I said, I know y'all don't want to really count those like that, which is fine with me. But how will he dictate the Falcons beyond 2025 is the question. And if you're new to the channel and you're watching this, go ahead and subscribe to 6MK Live. Like I said, man, your feedback is going to dictate how often I do these solo lives here. So the question is, how does he dictate the Falcons beyond 2025? He does it in a lot of ways. Like I said, his success can dictate if Drake London gets paid on a long-term deal or get paid in them upper echelons of where the wide receivers are at now. He could possibly dictate the future of Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. It also dictates on how of a seat Raheem Morris has. But it's a lot of things that for me, the way that it's set up, he can lead the Atlanta Falcons to the playoffs. I just read off the Atlanta Falcons rankings. This is a running offense. It's balanced enough, but all their passing attempts are dictated on how they run the football. So we know what Bijan and Tyler brings to this team. But here's my question that I ask for you as Atlanta Falcon fans. Do you really care if the team is succeeding? Or do you care if the team succeeds based on who you want to succeed? See here, if you hear us talk about Kyle Pitts and how we defend Kyle Pitts' role here, it's because it's a role. It helps the team. Same thing with Drake London. Same thing with Darnell Mooney. Same thing with Tyler Algier. Same thing with Charlie Warner. The team success should be the most important part of this. But what has ended up happening is we've gone away as Falcon fans, and I'm going to put myself into this as a Falcon fan. We've gone away from seeing who we want to succeed be the overall determining factor on if the team succeeds. That almost didn't make sense, but it does make sense when you start thinking about it. In the South Side, yeah, Pitts will be used the same as he always been. I just expect to see more deep routes because of Penix's arm talent. Yes, and which is crazy too, because I've also looked up something too. Like you said, Penix is more. Like I said, Penix is going to take a lot of shots. It's going to be a lot of shots taken down the field from all over the damn place. Like you said, complete. Like you said, but where I'm going to be critical on him on that right now, and this is something that he's going to learn, is you're going to have to take those check downs or those short routes too. 58 completion percentage on 101 throws. Like I said, I kind of expected to get better from that. So like I said, I'm not worried about it. Like I say, it's a he's learning process. First year, second year, I'm expecting it to be a little bit be more better as far as the types of throws he make and the depth of throws that he make. Because the thing is, you can have a live arm, but he cannot be reliant on that live arm for 48 minutes, for 60 minutes. Well, let me see, offensive average, 40 minutes a game. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. We live solo over here. Sonya, what's going on? But I'm looking at it as a blessing in disguise. I'm just looking at it because we finally have an off season. We finally have an off season where we have a determinant at the quarterback position to where everybody actually agrees on it. I think this is the first time in a long time where you can see that the majority of the Falcon fans actually agree on the quarterback position going into a season. And definitely shouts out to the 9 people watching right now, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 40, however many of y'all is watching. But like I said, man, I'm just only on here this early just because, like I said, shout out to Coach. Coach said he wasn't feeling well. So like I said, man, y'all just keep him in mind as always. And me and the fellas, Got a question for y'all. Are y'all subscribed to the Unholy Alliance channel? Because that's where you're going to get a lot of that's where you're going to get a lot of the solo takes on various different topics amongst the sports world. All right. So 15 minutes has passed. I want to get that thought out the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna we're gonna Q&A it up for these last 10 minutes before we get up on out of here. Let's see what we got here. All right, y'all. I'm waiting on some questions now. Waiting on some questions here. Waiting on some questions because I want to figure out a direction where I want to take this. So I want y'all to leave some questions in here. All right, turn the page. Turn the page. Oh, and let me also say this. This is actually part one of the conversation in itself. Part two is actually going to be the defensive side of the ball, which is going to be covered by one said Mad Mike Sports, because I think y'all really want to hear the theory that we have came up with as far as why the defensive side of the football hasn't really been a big talking point amongst the Falcon community. Might say, is it a blessing to have Kirk Cousins as a backup? At this point in time, yes, it is. Just because, like I said, you have a veteran back. Like I said, a young quarterback always does well. Like I said, you want to have that veteran backup. Now we all kind of disagree, or we all upset about the pay of the backup quarterback. Yes, we are. But it is a blessing to have a Kirk Cousins backup, even though we've been shitting on his ass all off season. Like you said, as long as he now understands that motherfucker, your ass is the backup, sit down, shut up, and teach the young guy. Because guess what? Knock on wood, anything happens, are you trusting Easton Stick? I didn't think so. So yeah, I can definitely deal with it. Deal with Kirk Cousins as the backup. I'm just laughing at Southside talking about this an actual live. Never seen 6-man go live. Is anybody else gonna ask questions besides Mike? But that's cool though. Who emerges as the running back behind Tyler Algier? Well, with Jace McClellan being cut, I forgot, was that Jay Sean? Let me see what, cause I think they're expecting Jay Sean. Well, the way that they have put the news out on it, the Jay Sean kid that was in the UFL is supposed to be a really big really interesting signing. But me personally, I think it'll probably be Carlos Washington. I think Carlos Washington may have the best chance to be the running back 3 for the Atlanta Falcons in 2025. Because just for the simple fact that he's a more explosive type of guy. I like to say he's on the smaller side, but he's a more explosive running back. And I kind of think with today's NFL, like I said, you need at least one of those type of running backs on your team. You need at least one of those. outside of Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is just an all-world guy in itself. Brian Peoples, what's going on? Southside here said I think it might be called Washington or Nate Carter. I haven't heard too much about Nate Carter, but like you said, I think just for the familiarity case, I say it'd be Carlos Washington. I had high hopes for Jace McCullough, but I think with him being injured, I think that kind of hurt his chances of being on this team for this upcoming season. Hey. Oh yeah, hey BP, oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, definitely. He said, "Hope you had a great brother. Hope you ain't spend all your money at the strip club. You ain't spend all your money at the strip club, man." Well, really, in reality, the way these some of these females be online shit. Hell, you don't even need to go to the damn strip club. They do shit for free online now. So, okay, we at the 20-minute mark. All right, just looking for two more questions, and I'll be right out of your hairs. Let's see. And I want to also give a shout out to everybody within this space. Okay, Mike said he's going live right after me. he said, my finances ain't paying. Well, I agree with you. Shoot, I ain't trying to spend no money like that. My type of birth, my type of birthdays is consist of sitting my black ass at home watching movies. Said, wait, is Jamal Agnew listed as a wide receiver running back because he could be Roy B3 because of his play style? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like a Cordero Patterson style because you got to think with Jamal Agnew is a wide receiver and a running back. So that's your Cordero Patterson role right there. But if you're just talking about a full blown running back, listen. I'll be honest with you. I don't damn know. I know Jamal Agnew came in as a wide receiver and played running back. He just, like you said, he's just a smaller Cordero Patterson. Okay, so Mike said he's going live right after here to do the part 2. So if we ain't got any more questions, I think I'll go ahead and let y'all have the rest of the day. Like I said, I just want to try something here a little bit different now. So y'all might be seeing more of these pop up. I haven't decided what's going to be the set day on it. They just might come out of nowhere. So, like I said, man, y'all continue to support. Appreciate the love. And Mad Mike Sports was coming up right after. So, hey, this is the 6 and K versus Kev podcast. And we out here. Deuces.